22A for homework tonight on page 321. So we're just going to do, Douglas is here, he's helping me do this through this first problem. We're going to do 22A and then we'll do 23A, I guess you could call it. So here's our equation. We've already determined that it's balanced, and we're given 2 moles of HCl and 2.5 moles of NaOH, and it asks us which one of these is the limiting reactant. And so as Douglas has explained to me, we're just going to pick one of the products to use, and we're going to draw a box to that product from both of our reactants, and we're going to do this 2 boxes to determine which one is the limiting reactant. So we go 2.0 moles of HCl. Starts off with moles, and we can figure it by calculating the moles. So this one's actually super easy. To go from moles of HCl to moles of NaCl, we multiply by the molar ratio, which we find by getting the coefficients. And this is easy because it's 1 to 1. We put moles of HCl down here so we can cancel those out. And we get 2 moles of HCl will produce 2 moles of NaCl. So easy, right? 2.5 moles, let's do the other reactant, 2 moles of NaOH. And we multiply that by the molar ratio, which is 1 to 1. Super. This is too easy. Over 1 mole of NaOH. Moles of NaOH cancels out moles of NaOH. And we have 2.5 moles of of NaCl. So which one is the limiting reactant, Douglas? HCl. 2 moles of HCl will run out after producing 2 moles of NaCl, right? That one's going to run out before this one. Okay, so that's our limiting reactant. Recorder. Okay, so this is the first part of 23 now. And 23 says, for each reaction, for this reaction, determine the amount in moles of the excess reactant. How much is left over? Okay? So we started off, we determined this is our limiting reactant. This is our excess reactant. So here's what we do. I'm going to start off with a different color. Actually, I'm going to erase these boxes now, because we don't need these boxes. We already used these. Okay. I'm going to draw a new box. To find how much of the excess is actually used. We have 2.5, but how much is actually used? We're going to draw a box from HCl, the limiting reactant, to NaOH, the excess reactant. And here's what we do. Let me also squeeze this down. Okay? So here we go. How much excess reactant? We start with what we know, the limiting reactant, 2.0 moles of HCl. And we need to change that to moles of NaOH. We know we have 2.5 moles, but we're not going to use all that. That's because we're going to have excess. So how much do we actually use? How much combines with 2.0 moles of HCl? So we multiply by the molar ratio, which is 1 to 1 in this instance, 1 mole NaOH over 1 mole HCl. And we get how much will actually be used? 2.0 moles NaOH. That's how much will actually be used. But how much do we have? We have 2.5 moles. So if we started off with 2.5 moles, this is what we started with, and we're going to use 2.0 moles. How much are we going to have excess? 0.5 moles NaOH excess. So to find the excess, you always draw the box from the limited reactant to the excess reactant, and you find out how much did we actually use of that excess reactant. You subtract that from how much you started with, and there you have your answer.